Hey there everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Pubo Rama, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Acid Lab. And that is because this business is double money this week in Grand Theft Auto Online for all players. Now that is absolutely amazing, because it means you can roll in crazy income with this business. The Acid Lab is already widely regarded as one of the best ways of earning income. It can never be rated, it's always a single vehicle sale mission, and you can resupply it by calling Mutt on the phone. I mean, what is there not to like? So, in today's video, I'm going to be showcasing just how much money you can make with double money on the Acid Lab, and letting you know everything you need to know about it. For example, did you know by changing the name of your product, you can actually earn more money when selling your business? Now, the first thing that is pretty common sense, but if you haven't done it at this point, you can actually call Mutt to resupply the business. This is something that a lot of newer players don't know. Super easy. You just call Mutt on the phone. He picks up, it tells you what the production level is, so we can see I have 37% supplies, it tells me how much my product is worth, and then we can just press buy supplies, and boom, $48,000 later, Mutt will have his supplies delivered. Now, when it comes to doing a sale mission, my recommendation is to leave your vehicle somewhere towards the center of the map. The reason why is because when you start the sale mission, well, okay, good, it did let me in. When you start the sale mission, you don't know whether the game's going to want you to go to the city or over to Sandy Shores, Paleto Bay. So the best way to do a sale mission with the Acid Lab, especially if you're doing public lobby, is to just kind of put it in the middle of the highway. That way, you don't really need to guess where you're going to spawn for the sale mission. Now, our Acid Lab is worth, as you can see, $703,000. That's a lot of money, especially because if we sell this in a public lobby, we can get over $1 million ideally, but some people have told me there is a cap, so we'll see exactly what it caps at. There's only 13 people in my lobby, but we're still going to sell it. Should be a pretty easy and free sale mission. So let's walk over to our product. It is $703,000, and then with the high demand bonus, it would be an additional 50%, but it's probably not going to be that much. I'm going to guess we're looking at around 800-ish, maybe $900,000 for the sale mission today. Well, you can definitely see why I put my Acid Lab more towards the highway in the center of the map, because this sale mission literally wanted me to go all the way over to Grapeseed for the first delivery. What are we doing here? We have to throw the acid. Okay, so it is the package. Oh, it's right over here. I mean, this one's really easy. It just involves you throwing the acid package into 10 different locations, and usually the locations are pretty close to each other once you get towards the area that you do the first delivery at. Now, here's the thing. I always recommend to sell the Acid Lab in a public lobby. It's almost a guaranteed free bonus on your income. I know that there's players that come into my comment section and they say, oh, I don't want to get griefed. And trust me, I know what getting griefed is like. I remember back in the OG days of GTA Online where you literally had to do all sale missions in public lobbies. This is a true fact. You could not do special cargo or vehicle cargo or any business unless you were in public lobby. Even grinding, you could not grind businesses unless you were in a public lobby. And it was incredibly painful. So I know what it's like being griefed. It sucks. I had moments of pain as well. But the great thing about the Acid Lab is it doesn't really have the problems that a lot of those businesses do. First of all, when doing a sale mission, it's a single vehicle sale mission, which means that all you have to do is drive this single vehicle all around the map and go to each location. So if somebody does end up blowing you up or killing you while you're on the motorcycle, all you got to do is go to online and go to a new lobby immediately. It's not like you have to worry about other vehicles around the map as well being griefed while you're driving the main vehicle. So that's the first thing. The second thing about Acid Lab sale missions is that they're usually really easy and simple to complete. The vehicle itself is very fast. A lot of people don't know this, but the Manchez is one of the fastest motorcycles in the game for wheeling. So it's actually quite a good motorcycle in general and good for completing the sale missions in an orderly time. So there really isn't much you have to worry about when doing these sale missions. I mean, we can see this one, for example. Nobody's near me. I'm on the other side of the map. And even if somebody does get near me, all I need to do is be registered as a CEO, go to CEO abilities, and press Ghost Organization. As it says, remove your organization and special cargo blips from the map. Basically, if you register as a CEO, you're guaranteed that you can get 3 minutes off the radar when you go into Ghost Org, plus the 1 minute off the radar you get at the beginning of the sale mission. Now, you can actually see that there's 16 people in the lobby right now. When we started the sale mission, there was only about 13, And I actually saw it go down to 11 at one point. But what's nice is that the more people that join the lobby while you're doing the sale mission, the more money you make. It's all dependent on how many people are in the lobby. Ooh, didn't mean to do that. But it's all dependent on how many people are in the lobby by the time you finish the sale mission. But look, I tell people this all the time. You can't hate on selling public lobby unless you at least try it a little bit. And businesses like the Acid Lab are incredibly easy to sell in public lobbies because you don't really have to worry about much. Single vehicle, and the missions are super easy, so I would definitely recommend to try it out. Alright, well at this point there are now 22 people in the lobby, which means that when we complete the sale mission, we should theoretically get over $1 million. But we'll find out. We only have a couple more deliveries to go. We're at 7 out of 10. And this here is our... Oh, we got to back up just a teeny bit. Perfect. That's our 8th delivery. So we're basically done here. I mean, I don't really got to do too much more. And because we have GTA Plus, I can literally just... Okay, it's not letting me go on the CEO thing. There you go. I can just go into Ghost Org and... I have 3 minutes off the radar. Now I don't have to worry at all about somebody trying to grief me or anything else. So we can just continue on our journey over to the drop-off. The cool thing about the Manchester is it's one of the only motorcycles in the game that can wheelie and also be able to steer while wheeling. It's actually pretty dang sick in that regard. Where is this drop-off? I see it right over there. There you go. Oh, thing bounced right out of the crate. Oh, go! Oh my god. I suck at throwing these acid packets. Do you guys struggle as much as I do? I'm terrible at it. Okay, we got one final drop-off, and then that's it. Then we're completely done. There's 19 people in the lobby now. Aw, dang. I can't believe the 2-3 people left right as we were about to finish. Although, again, it doesn't make too much of a matter. Let's go right over here, and can we lob it over? All right, we're going for a long shot. Boom! Oh, it was close, actually. Oh! Hey, that was kind of sick. Okay. Well, there you have it. Let's leave the area, get our paycheck, and see exactly what we are working with. A little bit further. We got to be pretty close to the distance, though. $985,000. With how many people in the lobby? Like 17? We still made an additional almost $300K off of the base payment. So even if it is capped by a little bit, I would still recommend to sell in a public lobby with the Acid Lab. $985,000 is quite a bit more, and especially it only takes like 2 hours to get the Acid Lab to full. That's just so much money for something that is incredibly easy to take advantage of. For those of you considering purchasing the Acid Lab on Warstock for 30% off, thinking you're going to save the time grinding, trust me, it's not worth it for multiple reasons. First of all, you actually make a decent amount of money doing the first dose missions on the first playthrough. They're pretty fun, and yeah, they pay pretty well due to the bonuses you get. Not only that, but once you get your hands on the actual Acid Lab, you can't upgrade it until you complete 10 Fooligans missions. So you still have to grind to actually be able to get the upgrades for the Acid Lab, and the Fooligans missions are a pain. They have a 48-minute cooldown. You have to do 10 of them, so that's 480 minutes of waiting in total, plus the missions themselves can be really tedious. So if you haven't done your Fooligans missions, I would highly recommend to get on them. Set a timer for 48 minutes on your phone or something, because trust me, the longer that you take, the less money you're going to make. Now, you'll notice that we have just pulled up to a stash house, and I would definitely recommend to do stash houses this week, and every week at that. Every day, a stash house pops up in your map. And the way the stash house works is it's a free resupply for any of the businesses that you have. So if we make our way into this stash house, all we have to do is kill the people in here. I usually just like shooting a grenade, which, as we can see, kills most of the enemies. Then we got this guy and this guy. And then we just have to break into the safe. But first we have to find the sticky note, which says, let me go into first person because it's kind of hard to read, 21287. Okay, so now we go over to the safe and hop onto it. Okay. And we have 212 and then 87. That's it. Done. That's how easy it is to complete these missions. And now we just leave. That right there is a free resupply on one of my businesses. Now, I already paid for an Acid Lab resupply, so it's not going to go to my Acid Lab. It's probably going to go to my bunker or something. But still, just the fact that you can do this so quickly and so easily, really allows you to pretty effortlessly fill your acid lab. So you don't even have to really pay for the resupplies this week. You're going to be making a crazy amount of money. Make sure that you... That's not what I wanted to do. I didn't think the water was going to be as deep as that. But I was going to say, make sure that you take advantage of the Acid Lab Boost, right? You can do that once every 24 hours. And a fun little fact that a lot of players don't know about the Acid Lab Boost is that it is active for as long as you play the game and until it meets a certain threshold. That was kind of confusing the way I worded it. But basically, a lot of people think that the Acid Lab Boost is time-oriented. It's not. If you play GTA for 20 minutes after turning on the boost, and then you log off and you log back on like a day or two later, or not a day later, but like, you know, let's say 5 hours later, it'll still be active. Also, we can see that I stole counterfeit cash supplies. But yeah, it'll still be active. As long as you don't take over a day to log into GTA, the Acid Lab Boost in the background will always be active. Now, there's one final thing that we need to talk about today, and that is passive income AFK strategy. Obviously, going AFK with the Acid Lab being on double money is incredibly nice, especially because, as I mentioned, it literally can never get raided. So I'm going to showcase a really quick way to have your Acid Lab or any of your passive businesses work AFK forever. And it's super duper simple. I've showed it on the channel many times. Subscribe for Taco showed it on his. Basically, you're going to make your way over to this location right here on the map. You're going to request a taxi, and then once the taxi spawns in front of you, you're going to take a Sparrow or Buzzard, and you're literally just going to fly one of those two helicopters right in front of the taxi, just like this. Doing this, the taxi will not move. The only reason you don't want to do it like where I currently am is because sometimes cars get a little antsy and they'll drive into you. But as you'll notice, if I choose a destination, let's just say point of interest, choose destination, you're going to notice that the taxi doesn't move. It'll stay like this forever. The wheels will turn, but the taxi itself will not move. So if you do this on an area that's not a main road where cars usually don't drive, your game will stay AFK. You won't get kicked. It's the easiest way to go AFK. So with all that being said, hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and if you learned something new, please consider smashing that subscribe button. Apart from that, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.